it's hot. The Dupont Circle, it is my literary piece. It's a literary piece that I've written and I've created. It surrounds the life of a young man by the name of Isaiah Dupont. And Isaiah, he is a 16-year-old biracial gay teen, living, growing, struggling, experiencing life as it is in Washington, D.C. He's a young man who, through this literary series, through every story you read, through every chapter, you know, Isaiah is discovering how his race, his class, his gender, his sexuality, how all of that sort of fits him into society. You know what I mean? And what's so significant about Isaiah is the fact that, you know, he stems from a very politically driven family. You could consider them sort of a political legacy of sorts in Washington, D.C. His great-great-grandfather was the first black governor to be elected to office in the state of Maryland. His grandfather was the first mayor to be elected in D.C., and his father now holds the mayoral office in Washington, D.C. So, you know, Isaiah stems from like this family legacy of sorts, and he sort of, with his liberal spirit, the fact that he is like this free thinker, he is this writer, he's into drama in school and what have you, he sort of rebels against a lot of what, you know, his family wants from him. And when you meet him, when you first meet Isaiah, you meet him 2 years after he's lost his mother, who was sort of his best friend. You know, she was white. That was the side of him that sort of, you know, he gravitated towards, because she was the one that sort of nurtured him and nurtured his energy. And he's now having to live without her. So the fact that Isaiah wants to, you know, pursue the arts, and he's gay and he's 16 years old, and here he's living under this roof with his father, you know, and his older brother Jonathan, who was like the typical alpha male golden boy, star of the track team. He's been accepted to several Ivy Leagues, president of his senior class. You know, he's trying to sort of fight and get out of the shadow. So he's dealing with that, on top of the fact that his father, only 2 years following the death of his mother, has remarried. And not only remarried another woman, but also her son has moved in with them, Gabriel. So Isaiah is, you know, dealing with having to fight to come out of the shadow not only of his older brother, but also his father's new wife and his new stepbrother. So it becomes a real challenge for him. Isaiah has his two best friends, his best female friend Ashley and his best male friend Dale. They grew up together, basically, you know. They all attend the same accredited DuPont Academy, named in honor of his great-great-grandfather many years ago. The Dupont Academy exists in Northwest Washington, D.C., and Isaiah attends school every day, and he has his best female friend Ashley there with him and his best male friend Dale. However, you know, even alongside them, oftentimes he doesn't feel understood because, you know, Ashley and Dale are around his same age. All of them are 16 years old, and sort of, you know, Ashley's a female and she doesn't necessarily, she's never walked a day in his shoes, so she really doesn't, you know, truly understand his trials and tribulations. She can only sort of empathize with them, you know. And Dale, you know, Dale has known Isaiah his whole life, but Dale says he isn't gay. You know, Isaiah in the back of his mind feels differently because they've known each other since they were like 2 or 3 years old, but you know, Dale still sort of, he doesn't feel as comfortable in his own skin as Isaiah does. So, you know, they're close, but on certain levels they aren't able to sort of connect, you know, so I think it's Isaiah's relationship with his boyfriend Jelani. I think that's going to really be one of the center points of the series, because Jelani stems from the total opposite end of the spectrum from Isaiah. Jelani, you know, lives in Southwest. He doesn't attend the Dupont Academy. Goes to school sort of when he feels like it, never has had a relationship with his mother or his father, lives with his aunt and his 3 cousins. He's in a house, you know, he walks sex siren for a house, slightly older than Jelani. Jelani's 16, Isaiah's 16, Jelani is 17, getting ready to turn 18 as we meet him. And, you know, you sort of see the dynamics of their relationship and how they have to be strong for one another. Where Isaiah is weak, Jelani is strong, and where Jelani is weak, Isaiah is strong, and they love one another. You know, this is Isaiah's first serious relationship with a guy. Isaiah's friends don't understand why Isaiah's with him. You know, they don't particularly care for Jelani. You know, Jelani is sort of rough around the edges, but he really loves Isaiah. But they fight to really keep their relationship going because they really stem from 2 different backgrounds, you know. But what they have in common is the fact that they have found one another, and they sort of both are an escape from their home lives, you know what I mean? Because even though Isaiah comes from money and his family is affluent, whereas Jelani, you know, pretty much comes from poverty, but neither one of them are happy in their household, and they find one another, and for both of them this is their first relationship with another guy. So it's sort of like, you know, you see these 2 teenagers coming into themselves but doing it alongside one another, and they sort of rely on one another for that sense of strength and support. But they certainly face, you know, their trials as well, just as many young couples, old couples, couples in general do. But you'll see that as you read and the series develops. Isaiah is also blessed in the fact that in his life there are 2 young men. One older by the name of Amir. Amir was hired to be Isaiah's tutor when Isaiah was in middle school. When Isaiah's mother was still alive, she hired Amir to sort of, you know, work with Isaiah in math and science because that's where Isaiah is weak. But Amir has sort of become a mentor to Isaiah. He takes Isaiah sort of under his wing. He's straight, but he had a very close relationship with Isaiah's mother. He's known Isaiah for the past 2-3 years, and he really, you know, stands as an older brother figure, a father figure. He exists in Isaiah's life on so many different levels. Him and Isaiah are extremely close. And Isaiah also turns towards a young man in his theater class named Christian. Christian is very much into a wide array of music. He's into a wide array of different art and books and museums and things that really interest Isaiah. So Isaiah creates this sort of friendship with Christian as well. So he has a lot of different individuals in his life, and the Dupont circle together as each one of these individuals sort of rally around Isaiah in different areas of his life where, you know, he needs help or guidance or structure or just someone standing alongside him. They all come together to form, as I call it, the Dupont circle. Well, honestly, seeing as how at least 50% of my viewing audience, my readers and my viewers exist between the ages of 14 to 24, it was back in July, around the time I finished reading Evelyn Harris's last novel, back in July, where I really began to think, like, in what other way can I sort of reach them? You know what I mean? Like, in what other ways can I reach them without always sitting in front of my camera and speaking directly to them, or just reading their messages on Facebook and email and MySpace and just replying? So when I sat down, and began to create this literary series, I seriously thought about, the years of messages I've received, the types of questions, I usually get, and I tied all of that into my characters. You know what I mean? It was so important that the characters reflect, not only my experiences, not only the experiences of people I know directly, but for all of those who I've come in contact with indirectly as well. I wanted to use sort of like other personalities that I've created to filter the messages and entertain, at the same time. So I definitely can say that, my inspiration stemmed from just wanting to reach my viewers and reach my readers in a way that I haven't tapped into already. What my team and I have done actually is that we have created a new website, thedupontcircle.com, www.thedupontcircle.com, that beginning Monday, October 25th, 2010, all of my viewers will be able to log on and read week by week as I upload the different chapters that sort of complete each book. They'll be able to log on to this new website and read the content as I am uploading on a weekly basis. Though I have completed, a nice healthy amount of chapters, I don't want to just put them all out there at once. I want to do it on a weekly basis so that all of my readers have an opportunity to really learn the characters, fall in love with some, hate some, however you feel about it. But then at the bottom, I also now have a chat box where my readers can actually comment each chapter. After they finish reading it, they can comment, what other readers have said, basically sharing their opinions on the structure as on a weekly basis I'm uploading. I don't know quite yet and haven't decided exactly what day each week I will upload a new chapter, but definitely that is the plan. Beginning Monday, October 25th, I'm so very excited about it. You will be able to sort of read a little bit about each character on the website. You'll be able to read a little bit about me, for those who are unfamiliar. But it really is just a platform that still exists under the XVA umbrella. But I wanted to create a site and a platform that was sort of separate from ZemVanAdams.com, because that's sort of where, I talk about entertainment and celebrities and relationships and sex and all those different topics. But I wanted to create, something that fits with the whole idea of enlightening and entertaining, which is what the XVA brand stands for, but then at the same time having a separate platform to exist where everything is really content based and the viewer and reader's attention can be focused on the characters and not just me or these celebrities. So that's really been something we've been working on, and I'm very excited about it. I hope that